Hello guys, and welcome to a world of chaos, a world of complete mayhem. Toon Kingdom. So we're gonna do Toons today, and this is gonna be my competitive deck. And so I recently took this to regionals, and so out of 8 matches, I dropped out at the 7th one because I had got my 3rd and final loss, but I was doing pretty well. I believe so. I got 4 and 3. So, or I don't know how you do it. The loses on one side and wins on the other, but I won 4 times and lost 3 times. So, but this is my competitive Toon deck, and I find this to be pretty much the best Toon deck I've seen out so far. Like, I've been researching Toons and pretty much using Toons ever before the support came out. I don't know, I guess personally that's like what I love, and I'm so glad I had so many of the valuable Toon cards when the hype came up, and I made my money's worth and all that other stuff, and you know, it's really fun. But here's going to be the deck profile, and we will go right into it. So, with the meta today, there is, you know, a lot of... Ooh, goodness gracious. We'll guess that for you there. A lot of the meta today is based on special summoning and banishing and whatnot. I really can't really negate banishing because... or prevent banishing because Toon Kingdom requires it to protect my Toon, so that would not be good. But I do have a lot of the Floodgates, and this is pretty much a Toon Stun stall kind of deck. So you're going to start out with your 3 Toon Kingdoms. Beautiful card. Yeah, this maintained its price after the ban list because you know, because a lot of things got hit, and Toons have somewhat valuableness in the meta. So you got your 3 Magic Reflector. Now, pretty much really, I have found no way. I can't really card guard it because, you know, they can destroy card guard because it's not like Toon card guard or anything else like that. But Magic Reflector, if you go first turn, it's prevention from MST, Arcane Eccentric, pretty much all that. Because that is, you got your 3 Magic Reflector right there. That is pretty much your protection. If everybody doesn't know what Magic Reflector does, you put a spell counter on your any face-up spell card, and it prevents it from being destroyed for one time. Your 1 Mimicat, because 2 or 3 would be way too cloggy. You really want to side this out most of the time because it really isn't necessary unless you're definite that your opponent runs like a Vanities or something that would hurt them more than anything else. Unless they side out the Vanities during the second game, then, you know, that's unfortunate. 3 Toon Table of Contents. Definite in the deck. You're gonna want your big searcher in there. So yeah, so you want to go for your place, because I usually found I'll go into this later, but there is somewhat of an OTK involved with just Toon Table of Contents itself. Well, not only Toon Table of Contents, but in searching with that. Comic 3 of them. Yeah, what's more better than turning your opponent's monster into a Toon? You know, at a point in time, so my opponent actually had a Dark Destroyer out on the field. I activated Skill Drain. There's really nothing he could do, so I assimilated his monster, and it became my own, and it was Toon Dark Destroyer. I've also had Toon El Shadal Construct and Toon Trishula, and it was really funny, really funny. Just changing the meta. Your triple terraforming. Beautiful super rare. I'm glad I accumulated these before things got really expensive. Pot of Duality. Now, I was opposed to this because I really wanted to, like, you know, I was just, I don't know, uncomfortable with running Pot of Duality in the deck, but my deck really exploded when I used Pot of Duality, especially at 3. So pretty much this is the I'm running 43 cards in my deck, and these 3 get into my good searches and everything else a lot better, because this is the icing on top of the cake. Because you Toon Kingdom to banish the top 3, and then really you need to get in that one Floodgate or that one Magic Reflector to protect your Toon Kingdom. You're going to want to activate this, and you have pretty much a 30% chance at getting what you need in your deck. So there's your 3-party duality. Now to start with the monsters, you got your. We have a fairly small monster count here. Toon Masked Sorcerer times 3. That's a definite, because you're going to want your draw power. Because pretty much this helps you get back into your. You want to get as much draw power in your field as possible, because usually you would use Toon Mask and then get at least 2 of these guys out in the field if you haven't had 1 already in your hand. 2, I've had 3 out in the field before. If 1 hasn't already gotten banished by Toon Kingdom. So, yeah, so there's your 3. You're going to want to run them. And so we have an extremely small monster count, so that I think there's about 11 or 12 monsters. You're going to want to run your 2 Toon Gemini Elf. Because, really taking stuff out of their hand isn't really that big anymore, because they really can guess everything's floaters now, and stuff activates engrave, so doing this is somewhat of a plus and sometimes of a minus, unless you're facing that random Senju player and you start taking cards out of their hand. This guy, the cowboy of the deck, everybody was so confused when this happened. It's just you can get over so many things. This helped me out more than anything else. This was pretty much my ace monster other than Toon Masked Sorcerer. Getting around those tricky times when I knew I was going to lose next turn, but I guess tributed off for game, launching my monsters at my opponent. Now, that's enough for the small level monsters. You're going to go into the bigger ones. Toon Barrel Dragon at 1, because, they're Fortunate Leads is level 7, so you can target your opponent's Infernoid monsters, or anything, well, not really anything else. Dark Destroyer and Forerunner are unaffected, or they can't be targeted, period. So, but you can target them, or you can target Infernoids even under Seer. So, because it doesn't prevent, Seer doesn't prevent targeting. So, it'll help you get out Toon Barrel Dragon a lot faster, and then you can start. You have a possibility of starting to destroy stuff, and that's pretty powerful in Toons. Your Tuning King Gurgle, one of these. So pretty much these 2 big guys are. A lot of people saying they don't want to run any, and that's not. I personally, I don't think it's a bad idea to not run any. But at the same time, these guys have saved my butt so many times. They would have a monster out, and Toon Mask I would target them. They would destroy Toon Kingdom. Toon Mask effect would be fulfilled, and I found out that as long as Toon World, that's Toon Kingdom, is out on the field, you can fulfill Toon Mask and special summon this. So it doesn't require Toon World to be out on the field. So, but yeah, they also have the nice effect of being a Class D Toon. They won't be destroyed when Toon World is destroyed. 2 Toon Goblin Attack Force. I was running it at 1, and sometimes I cited it out for something else, but I found that this was a lot better because, there's a lot of monsters it competes against. You prevent a lot of things just by normal summoning this. It's pretty strong. Your opponent has a whole lot of low-level monsters or low-attack monsters. Hard time getting over this. So this is a good defense and at the same time good damage when it comes into play. And last but not least, Toon Cyber Dragon. Just because, that free special summon sometimes, and it has a good effect where it can't be destroyed yet again. So that's it for that. A lot of people try to run Toon Dark Magician Girl and stuff for that first attack play, but to be completely honest, it wasn't really that powerful. My deck's more stall and stun, so there is that for you. We'll put this beautiful guy on top. As your spells and monsters. I love these guys. Even though I don't really run them in the deck, they still look goofy as ever. So, funny little things. And, just as you know, I love TOONS, so, like, literally, like, that I live and breathe TOONS, and that I've been whining to everybody about how good TOONS are, and then they were surprised when they got beat by it. So, this is traps now, so Toon Mask, 2 of them. 3 was a little cloggy, because you really had, if you really do want to run 3 and take Mimic Cat out or something like that, or another, one of your Toon monsters, that's okay, but this is pretty much just helps you get into your monsters better, because, and at the same time, if you have one Toon Mask Sorcerer on the field and bring this guy, bring another Toon Mask Sorcerer out, you have the extra draw power as well. So, there's that for you. Helps you out. There's so many things you can do with that. Really opens up the Toon deck a lot. 3 Toon Briefcase, because really, this really hurts a lot of decks. They spam their board, they pendulum summon everything onto the board, and really they have no answer to this other than Wiretap or another counter trap card. Because this is just so hard to deal with. If you don't know what Toon Briefcase does, it shuffles. When your opponent summons monster or monsters, it shuffles them into the deck. And that's really good, because when your opponent loses advantage, it's really hard for them to come back. Now, I think another good tech but play in the deck is Skill Prisoner. You, personally, for me, you definitely want to run this at 3. Now, thinking of Toon Kingdom, you already know your Toon monsters can't be targeted, and if they would be destroyed, you banish a top card face down. But Skill Prisoner, if you don't know what it does, you can target one card you control, and for the rest of the turn, if a monster effect would target that, it negates that effect. So it's extremely powerful, because really, other than Galaxy Cyclone and MST, a lot of those back row hate aren't really played anymore. So, besides Magic Reflector, you can really use Skill Prisoner to protect it, and you can even banish it during either player's turn as well, other than it being other than the turn it was being sent, and then do the exact same thing in chain. So there's that. Skill Prisoner is pretty much protecting your Toon Kingdom. As long as your Toon Kingdom is protected, your Toons are protected. Now for your Floodgates, pretty much the other heart of the deck. As long as you pretty much keep these on the field, you're pretty much good. As long, you know, there's really nothing else your opponent can do if you have these on the field. You're obvious, lose 1 turn, triple of them. Sometimes you want to slide this out if you really are facing like, I don't know, Monarchs in the future or something like that. That will not use special summoning as much. Self-explanatory. And it doesn't hurt Toons at all, because Toons can't even attack the turn they're summoned anyway. Even if I did special summon a Toon with Toon Mask, it would get put to defense, which helps you out. And then also, they you know, their effects in the game and they can't attack. So, even if you destroyed Toon Kingdom and you special summoned any Toon monster off of that said it would be a Toon monster that said it would be destroyed when Toon World is destroyed, lose 1 turn would actually help you out. Your 1 vanities, really self-explanatory. Skill Drain, self-explanatory, but sometimes this actually, I feel like it's 2 sides of the same coin, you know. It hurts me because it negates my Toon's effects to attack directly, but at the same time it really benefits me. Toon Cannon Soldier can actually tribute himself off and avoid Skill Drain, but there's really nothing else my Toons could do other than, you know, getting helping them not get destroyed when Toon World is destroyed, or Toon Kingdom. And then other than that, you know, Skill Drain, you negate a lot of effects, and then you opens up a whole lot of a new world to comic hand your opponent's monsters. So they can't really, you know, other than chaining with like Farm Girl or anything else like that, you know. Or pretty much Skill Drain against Magus Specters really hurts them, and then you can just start taking over their monsters, because now they can be targeted and whatnot. That's really good. Torrential Tribute is the final trap card. Really, because you can catch your opponent off guard with this card, and then your Toons will stay on the field, but their monsters won't. And that's pretty much it. Like, you know, really helps you out, and Torrential's ran. You don't see it too often now, but it is still ran. And there you go. There is my Toon deck. Thank you guys for staying this long for the video. I love how Toons got their support, and it was really well deserved. You know, this has pretty much made me so happy. I pretty much fulfilled my life goals, other than collecting all the cards and all the character decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, as you know me. But there we go. Oh, I'm always silly when it comes down to this, but we're gonna extra deck now. Goodness, I usually am ahead of the curve sometimes and want to end my videos immediately, but we'll start with the side deck. We'll just put these guys on top of each other. So for the meta now, you know, you got your 3 Massacre Restrict, a lot of Tributings coming up, Infernoids, Macula Specters, Monarchs. These are pretty big. Yeah, so pretty much your Massacre Restrict is your other Floodgate, Macrocosmos. So because you really don't need to bring anything back from Toon, because you really never use your graveyard other than Skill Prisoner. But yeah, that's pretty much, you know, you're hurting a lot of decks that need effects to either go off in graveyard or to use monsters in graveyard. So there's that. There's also Dimensional Fissure, which is back here as well, but we'll get with that. Your other Toon Mask, 2 Breakthrough Skill. I want to put in a 3rd, but at the same time, you know, this helps against an Ixuria Beast or other monsters that negate spells, because you can just Breakthrough Skill it and then continue with your plays. So that's in that case, you would want to run 3. Dimensional Fissure, German. Actually, I speak German, so really, I don't know, a lot of these German cards I like a lot. So you have your Toon World, your Rogue Toon World. I really never ever use this. So again, you can take it out for whatever you want, add an extra breakthrough or something. But yeah, just in the case that they try to Prohibition Toon Kingdom, there you go. Triple Mystical Space Typhoon, just cuz. Well, it is pretty much your go-to card whenever your opponent activates Floodgates against like Imperial Iron Wall or, you know, Anti-Spell. And then 3 Artifact Lands. Yeah, there's your 15 card extra deck. These 2 guys are just because I have 2 extra sleeves for some reason. But then again, if you really wanted to add an extra French Toon Cannon Soldier or Toon Blue Eyes, you could, you know, because I actually think the extra Tributing hate is really nice. And for the extra deck, it's really small. You got your Heartland Draco, really nice card, because you always have your face-up spells. And it can attack directly. It's pretty much a hypothetical Toon. Silent Honor Arc and Castell. Diamond Direwolf. And pretty much everybody knows all these. Ragna Zero. Thunderspark Dragon. Oftentimes, you know, if there was problematic monsters and I really wanted to destroy them next turn, and I did happen to have 3 Toons on the field, level 4, there's that for you. Master Key Beetle, because most of your Toons level 4s are Dark, Mass Sorcerer, and Cannon Soldier. You get in that play. Protect your Toon Kingdom if you wanted to. Abyss Dweller, you know, self-explanatory. Marigold Ice to shuffle stuff back into the deck if you really were planning on it. And then Ragna Zero to get rid of problematic cards in their graveyard. There you go. Now, there you go. Toons are awesome. They'll always be awesome. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Oh, yep, there you go.